Right, so this reading is about dealing with a narcissist, and it's very, very challenging, right? Because often the narcissist is one of the most charming and seemingly compassionate people that you have ever met, and they may seem to understand you better than anybody, and they can be very funny and often seem to be joking when in fact they're very serious about taking control of you and taking control of your life perhaps. And the level of manipulation can be pretty severe and can be very, very difficult to deal with and heal from, right? So I really got called to give this reading now, and then it's in a way that I've not done before, because I've just shuffled the cards, seeing what they're saying, rather than going to a sort of ABC of how to deal with abuse. So I'm just going to start, but very straight away, right? The first thing I was getting, actually with this card, with don't hold back, it's time, go for it, dive in, is I felt there was a need to really accept what you were dealing with, right? Like if you are dealing with a narcissist, not to play games with yourself, right? Not to be fooled by the other side of, their charm or something like this, but to be very, very real with yourself so that you can start protecting yourself and building yourself up in ways they may have tried to break you down. And stop doubting yourself, because one of the biggest things that happens when dealing with a narcissist is we may start to doubt ourselves more and more, right? And then lose touch with our own reasoning, right? Or intuition or something like this that is normally there to protect us. So I feel that it's very, very important for you to go almost like head first into the reality of the situation you're dealing with. And the very first step is to begin healing yourself and not doubting what you think you may be feeling. I mean, why would you be clicking on this reading if you did not feel you were dealing with a narcissist, right? So I feel that it's very important to be honest with yourself about this. So we'll just begin the reading. We've got current dreams, cosmic ocean, current dreams, future realities, new beginnings. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, because one thing that can happen is you may find that you are no longer dreaming about the future like you once did. You no longer feel excited or even confident that you can make those dreams a reality. And the fact that new beginnings came through, I feel this is one of your strengths. This is one of your pillars of strength. Absolutely, you can create the dreams you want, right? Absolutely. Build that confidence back up. And this is one of the first steps to healing, because somehow, and I don't know how they do it, right? It's almost as if they make you believe the only world possible that you can have is with them and in their, nightmare, right? That they're creating in your life. So I feel that's very important to start getting back in touch with your dreams, back in touch with this new beginning, and allowing yourself to really think and visualize and connect with the future that you want as much as possible without thinking about the narcissist. Sometimes we try and think, oh, if only they were like this and if only they did that. But then we end up pouring so much of our energy into healing what somebody who sometimes does not want to be healed, right? So don't waste your energy out there at the moment. Put it inside in you and with your dreams. Come out of hiding. Embrace who you really are. This is the other thing, often when dealing with a narcissist, we stop being our authentic self, right? We stop being ourselves. We're walking on eggshells, trying to be somebody that won't trigger them or won't get shouted at by them or won't be abused by them or will get their approval or their love or their recognition or anything. So we sort of mold ourselves and lose ourselves in the process, right? So wherever you are now, take those first steps back to just being yourself, right? Is there something you used to do that you stopped doing? Is there something you want to say that you're scared of saying? Is there a way that you want to be and express? Do it, right? Do it. Obviously, if you're in any kind of dangerous situation or abusive situation, I am not saying not to be careful, right? But if we're doing this in a safe place and if possible away from the narcissist or with the narcissist, yet with some type of protection, right? And we've got deep sea diving. So this one I felt was very much like this. Wave the mystic, learn through experiencing depths. You know, it's like however difficult the situation may be, however challenging you may find things at the moment, there is so much depth to what you are experiencing, and there are so many lessons being learned, and there's so much strength being formed within you just through going through these experiences, right? So even though it might look like you're in a nightmare or having a difficult time, the depths that you're experiencing are absolutely incredible, right? So don't. I'm just sort of getting the feeling that, you know, you're feeling quite hopeless and broken and beaten down and losing faith and losing touch with, you know, or feeling like, what is it all for? Why, you know? And there are always a reason why, right? The universe has a wisdom that we, with our human minds, can never understand because it's so beyond anything, right? And life experiences and life lessons and what we need to go through at times is part of that wisdom, right? It's part of our training school, as it were, right? It's part of what we need to go through, learn, experience to become our true, authentic selves. And even the hard experiences, right? Even sometimes the hardest pain, the most difficult situations are what form the most incredible strength within us, wisdom within us, compassion within us, right? So don't underestimate that. It's not about not giving yourself time to heal and being like, right, it's been really hard. Let's get out there and show the world what an amazing being I am. No, right? Maybe yes, if that's how you're feeling, but it's not about putting any pressure on yourself. Just know that there's a reason, right? There's a reason that you're going through this right now. The ripple effect, part of something bigger, details are taken care of. Yeah, I feel, you know, often a narcissist will try and make you feel that you're alone and you don't have any support and you don't have people around you and the universe won't guide and support you. And we can really end up believing that, right? So, what I want to sort of remind you, or you know, sometimes people show up as support in our life that weren't even there before, right? The new people come into our life, new support, sometimes strangers, right? I mean, when we take care of ourselves, they say, there's an expression, the universe looks after those who look after themselves. Sometimes the first step is taking care of yourself, right? Getting yourself out of a situation that's not right, getting away from the narcissist, right, as soon as you can, so that you can start to think clearly, act with decisiveness. But what I want to say is there is support for you, right? And more support will come, and more support will come the more that you're taking care of yourself, right? Yet sometimes you need to make the first move. And I also pulled a crystal to see what the message was, and it said, I recognize repetitive patterns and I choose love, compassion and kindness. Now this is really interesting because I feel that you do need to look at the patterns, right? The patterns of narcissism in this person and choose love, compassion, and kindness. It's very often we hear about the dynamic between the empath and the narcissist, because the empath is so compassionate and so forgiving all the time, right? So we can be in a very dangerous, precarious situation if we keep forgiving somebody who is hurting us, right? So do keep this in mind. And I feel that choosing love, compassion, and kindness, the first place for that love, compassion, and kindness needs to be for yourself and any suffering you may have gone through dealing with this narcissist. And the messages: create patterns, healthy patterns in relationships, connect with the sweetness of life, maintain heart-centered awareness, get to the heart of the matter. So again, we're getting this sort of take the plunge, deal with the depths, deal with what is going on, right? Now, although this has all been said and spoken about quite quickly, shall we say, I do want you to take your time and really consider doing things in the best, right way for you, because it's not easy to deal with a narcissist, and it can be especially difficult when they're somebody that we really love, right? And a part of us just continues yearning for their love and, suffering through the process. So do really take care of yourself. Do really think very clearly and honestly with yourself and about the situation and about how you're going to deal with this. And love and blessings.